What's happening, Crypto fam? Happy Monday. Good morning and welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. It's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you taking the time out to consume the content, so thank you. It's a cold one today. Winter is coming, mate. We are well in autumn now and winter's coming. This morning I want to talk about DeFi. Getting your kids into DeFi, making sure you're in DeFi. I'm pretty sure most people watching now are in DeFi, but I want you to make sure that your kids understand it, that your kids are looking into it, and that you're putting some value into it for your kids. Yeah, you've got a nephew there, sat on something like 2,000 XRP for now. He's only 7. He's buzzing. Little things like that in the future, we will turn that into some metaverse land and metaverse assets and that for him, no doubt. But unless he chooses to be someone's employee, he will never be anyone's employee. He will not need to be. He will not need to be a wage slave like the majority of the human race. Yeah, DeFi is coming. It's paying. It's giving free money, baby. Yeah, and the staking and the yield farming and all that whatnot. You need to get them on it. You need to get them interested in it, because as this article I'm about to read from 2 weeks ago, people are dramatically underestimating the power of DeFi, right? You shouldn't be underestimating the power of DeFi. It will, I don't care what anyone says, if you just put £100 in DeFi platform, leave it long enough, it will set your family for life. You might not be alive when it finally does. Might take 100 years, £100 for 100 years, but I'm telling you, the rest of your family are set for they're done, they're set, they're good, they're golden. Just because you put a oneer away and left it long enough. Patience. Do you know what I mean? Like now it's $1,000, 10 years. See how fast that changes. You got to put a oneer in a wait 100 years, or you're gonna put $1,000 in a wait 10 years, 10 grand in a wait a year. That's the kind of timescale you're playing with. So Savaganders waffling on, and you're looking at me all flaming day. In the past few months, it's become cool, even amongst crypto. Should have used amongst. Even amongst crypto skeptics, I have a positive view of decentralized finance. DeFi is, of course, the catch-all term for crypto-enabled apps that use software in an attempt to disrupt the traditional financial services industry. Right, pause it. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're not doing it to disrupt financial services. They're doing it to give people better financial services. And just because the banks don't know what the fuck's going on, don't know how to do it, and don't want to do it, can't do it, they fucked it. They're losing out. And now it looks like an attack on the banks. It's not. It's an attack on the legacy financial system as a whole. It's dog. It's outdated. It's slow. And it is not going to hold up in the future. It just isn't. It's not an attempt to disrupt the traditional financial services industry on face value. It is to give people better financial services. Yes, that's going to disrupt the traditional financial services industry if they don't follow suit. Recently, the coverage from mainstream media has been remarkably positive. New York Times early this month. An alterated financial world is spinning up around traditional banking industry. The Economist, the rise of an ecosystem of financial services known as decentralized finance or DeFi deserves sober consideration. It has the potential to rewire how the financial system works, with all the promise and perils that entails. As an early mover into the space, my company launched the world's first DeFi crypto index fund in February of this year. Talking out your fucking ass, mate. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not reading most of that. Nah, fuck that. I'm not fucking reading it. Nah, mate. Talking out your fucking ass. Company launched the world's first DeFi crypto index fund in February of this year. Bullshit. There wasn't so they want an index fund last year? No, in 2020. Bullshit. Most mainstream articles about DeFi use a project called Uniswap to explain that DeFi is. It's easy to see why Uniswap is the largest DeFi application today by market capitalization, and also one of the easiest to understand. Uniswap is a decentralized crypto exchange. Investors can use Uniswap to trade one crypto asset for another, BTC 3344 USDC, and so on. In that way, it functions a lot like Coinbase, the publicly traded crypto brokerage giant that boasts more than 60 million customers. The difference is, Uniswap is not a company. It has no employees, no offices, and no CEO. Nonetheless, it's still a very big deal. Last month, investors traded more than $60 billion of crypto assets on the Uniswap platform. That compares about $150 billion on the Coinbase. Interesting. Now, Coinbase, the largest traditional spot crypto trading platform with more than 1,200 employees. This blows people's mind. Imagine doing 40% of the trading volume on Coinbase without any overhead. It's easy to look at Uniswap and imagine a financial future without the overpaid middlemen, bankers and CEOs we all love to hate. This is just a vision of the mainstream media falls in love with. Do you know, right, I tell you right fucking now, yeah? The mainstream media falls in love with a vision that tears the ass out of a bank. Do you know what's going to happen? The editor's going to walk into his office and say really, really nicely, stop fucking running that story the way you're doing it. Stop ragging the pants down and spanking her ass in front of the public. And generally, fucking stop it. Or you're out the fucking door, mate. Stop it. Oh. It's one of them, innit? It's a tug-tug, innit? Right, we know the bankers rule the world. Wars are because of bankers. Wars are fought because of bankers. Not politicians. Politicians are the guys who press the buttons and are the scapegoats, but it's all fought for bankers, mate. It's all for the people at the top of the bankers. They just are. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what to do for you. I don't know what else to say, but you think the king's in charge, then I'm sorry, but no. You think the king's more powerful than the man who holds the king's money and holds the king's debt. The king's in debt to someone. That person's more powerful than the king, trust me. Trust me. Rothschilds. So, the power of two-sided markets. Two-sided markets. Over the past 2 decades, some of the most successful companies in the world have been those that have disrupted well-established markets by unlocking large new sources of supply. Airbnb, for instance, opened up millions of new rooms for lodging and disrupted the hotel market. Excuse me. Uber created a two-sided market for ride-sharing and disrupted the taxi industry. Twitter created a two-sided market for information and disrupted the media ecosystem. In each of these examples, people with something valuable, a spare room, a willingness to drive, or an eyewitness account of the news, didn't have any easy way to bring that to the market until they did. And then DeFi does this for finance. There's no real easy way to be your own banker and remove the middlemen in finance until there is. And now there is. We just still need them for the last step. Going back into GBP mostly. PayPal has started letting you spend crypto, which has removed the need for you to sell your crypto into Paycheck because you can spend it on PayPal and they'll do it. Uphold cards, Wirex cards, Revolut cards, all them cards, Coinbase card, the debit card for the future. They're the rish rash raw. There's a little bit more in that article I didn't read. DeFi is the future of finance. It will change our future more than anything in finance ever has before. If you make enough moves towards securing a tiny little value for your children and your younger family members, I promise you, man, by the time if they're under 10 now, by the time they're 18, come on, man, 8 fucking years. Put it in for them. Don't put your own pot. You got your own pot. You're not spending this, but you're putting it in away for the kids. Put it away for the kids. Yeah? DeFi for the kids. Don't know, like, if they ain't a computer programmer, a fucking robotics technician, or something with a scientific trade behind them, they haven't got a job in 2035, 2040. They're not unless they move somewhere that still has fucking checkout staff in the local stores, because Tesco fucking won't come 2040. If you think someone's gonna work behind a checkout beeping your shit in 2040, you fucking deluded me. I can't even imagine how people can see that still happening in 2030, and then when I really think about it, it's all the people that are going to fight it that are going to push it the extra 5 to 10 years. Otherwise, make no mistake, it would happen in the next 10. You'd be done. You'd be gone. I can't wait till I'm sat here in like 2028 and be like, look, you notice how the only people left in Tesco are the ones that need to see your ID for buying beer and other shit, and everything else is just fucking, everyone else is gone. Literally, the last person in there is probably going to be the security guard. Like, legitimately, the last employee in Tesco is probably going to be the security guard, just in case people don't run in and just run out with shit, and there's no one to actually fucking grab her. But even by them, you walk in with your digital identity, you run out with shit. The police probably just come into your house, mate, saying, well, we know you robbed a meal deal, gives a £3, or you come to the station. They might just take the fucking £3 out of your CBDC account. How's about that? Hey, listen, don't know, which is why we go for DeFi, we got to be our own banks, and we protect our future, our family's future. We create some legacy value, and yeah, live off the rewards, baby. Look after the pot till the pot looks after you. That's the dance. Invest in yourself, the internet of value. Live long and hodl it all, and never let it go. Wishing health and happiness to you and yours. We love crypto, we love DeFi, and we love you. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.